So I made a couple of videos yesterday talking about how the Pokemon market really was slowing down and how some people were seeing this as maybe an early sign that we're going to be seeing a major correction or crash sometime soon. Now, I'm not going to reiterate all the things I said in those previous videos, but in this video, I do want to show you guys just the data of what has been happening to some of these sets. I'm going to be showing you guys all the products from these sets that have actually been going down, especially in the past couple of weeks. Now, if you look at Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, and you look at all the products, there are some of them that have been going up. For example, Prismatic Evolutions ETBs in the past month have still continuously gone up. Some other products like 151 ETBs have been steadily going up, and some other products have been going up, right? But the majority of sets, especially like booster boxes, a lot of them have been stagnant or have been going down. Very few have been going up, especially the past few weeks. Just across the board, things have slowed down a bit. So whatever sets or products that I'm not really mentioning in this video from Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet, most of them are just stagnant, which is why I'm not including them here. I just want to show you guys the products and the sets that have actually been going down. And from this video, if you guys maybe were thinking about picking any of these up, maybe now is a good time to pick some of these products up, especially maybe some Sword and Shield stuff, because you can get some discounts buying right now because the market is slowing down. I feel like this is a great opportunity for those that have been waiting for the market to see some sort of cool down, at least a little bit. And for some of these products, maybe now that there is a little bit of a cool down period, maybe it is a good chance to get in and buy, because you don't have to go and just chase after any listing that's a tiny bit under market because the market's going crazy. You can actually have a time period here where there are some good deals, and if you have money sitting around and you want to invest, maybe especially into some older stuff, maybe now is the time. So first here, Chilling Reign booster boxes, as you can see, lowest listed is near just $500 flat. What is pretty crazy is that at one point this was about $600, and now it's already dropped all the way down to the low 500s. And that's a couple listings in the low 500s you can see here. So you have a few options to choose from TCG Player. Now I did check eBay. I wasn't actually able to find anything below like $550 really. They're all like $550 and above. But I guess you do get to see the actual booster box you're buying on eBay, which, I always tell people, if you're going to buy any booster box that's more expensive, maybe you want to contact the seller to maybe see if you can get some pictures. But they are cheapest on TCG Player from my, research. Next here, Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars has gone down quite a bit as well. At one point, Brilliant Stars was pretty close to $600, and now you can see you can buy it for under $500. You can see here there's a few listings, and these are from Gold Star sellers. You can see under $500. So Brilliant Stars, I do feel like this was one of the picks I had where it was a pretty good buy, even at $550, as you can see here. And I still think it's a great buy. Obviously, buy at $550, you had to spend a little bit more money, but at the end of the day, still buying at that price point's fine. But especially now, maybe you didn't buy, maybe you held off. You can probably find some good deals out there if you just look around, and you can see just on TCG Player you're already saving money. So I did not check eBay, I will say, for this booster box. So you guys can check on eBay if there's anything cheaper. But TCG Player is under 500. So if you want, you can go on eBay, check it out. But I didn't actually check this one. Now next year, Lost Origin. Lost Origin, this is a big one. Lost Origin has gone down quite a bit not too long ago. It doesn't really show it on here, but at one point this was actually at $900 lowest listed. It was up there for a while where it was $900, but then things started to slowly dip, and now they're under $800. These were in the low 800s, and now it started to climb down, or not climb down, I guess fall down. You can see here there's many listed under $800. So you can see what's happened here. A lot more supply has been added to the market because people are looking at stagnation and wanting to take in profits before maybe possibly they go down a little bit further. So a lot more people have listed. You can see just the vast amount of people, comparing it to how it was a few weeks, a month ago. Lowest listed was $900. So it's gone down a little bit in just a short period of time. Now, if you go on eBay, you can actually find some boxes that are a little bit cheaper. You can see there's some here for $740. So hey, if you can find a nice looking box on eBay and you can find pictures for it, maybe that's a good option. Next here, Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved was very, very close to hitting $500, but it never actually did. You can see one day here it peaked at about $480. But if you look now, this, there's not that many sellers, but it has gone down a little bit, and there's just a lot of listings here before it hits actually $500. So you can just see a lot more supply is being added to the market, and obviously there not being as much demand right now. A lot of these boxes are going to fall a little bit in price. Now moving on here, Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift, there was a day everyone talked about this buyout, right? Where 81 boxes sold, it skyrocketed to like the 300s. And it's gone down quite considerably since then, and also just the sales volume. If you actually look at the sales volume and what's actually been happening for the past bit, there's actually been a streak of 3 days now as of recording this where not a single box has sold on TCG Player. And you can see after this one singular day how little boxes have actually been selling. There's been multiple days where none actually sell. Paradox Rift, it did have that one period where people bought them out, but after that it just is not selling that frequently. And it's actually interesting, you actually look at where this previously was before the buyout at $260. We're not that far off from there. We're about what, $20 from where it was before the buyout. So it hasn't actually gained that much in value if you take out this huge jump. And obviously here there's no sales volume to really show the prices going down, but if you actually look here, the lowest listed is about $290. So I guess maybe it's what, $30? Yeah, more close to $30, but it actually hasn't gone that much up. I mean, $30 if you take this out, I mean, it's still an increase, right? But definitely where it got bought out from, it's dropped like $50, or not 50, maybe $30. My math is off. $30 since then. But it is worth noting there's like no sales volume here, so that's just another sign things have been cooling off. Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks has been going down quite considerably as well. It did have a run up all the way to above $300, but now you can see it's been dropping. Lowest listed right now here is $270. So Surging Sparks also dropping in price. Now Destined Rivals. I've been talking about Destined Rivals a little bit in the past few days, but Destined Rivals has dropped now below $400. And one point it was $500, now it's below $400. I understand there was the Pokemon Center drop. That is part of the reason why more people are selling this product, because they know more supply is coming. Maybe some people have gotten it from Pokemon Center, I don't know, but just that fact that people know it happened, more people listed. And you can see now Destined Rivals isn't above $400 anymore. And actually considering how much supply is here, it may be possible, especially when people start getting their stuff from Pokemon Center, maybe they try to flip it. Destined Rivals, I don't know when the reprint is coming, but maybe, if we get a reprint when, booster box is under 400, maybe we'll see low threes. Before when it was 450, it didn't seem as likely, but we'll see what happens with Destined Rivals. If we see any sort of reprint anytime soon, if it stays under 400, what will happen after reprints come. Now lastly here, Mega Evolution. Now I wanted to show you guys this. So Mega Evolution has been still pretty strong. You can see it's still around $310, so it really hasn't dropped that much from where I was at when it was released. So it's still pretty strong. But one thing I wanted to note with you guys with Mega Evolution, it's actually interesting because contrary, I guess, to what Journey Together was, and I think even now Journey Together, the prices for the non-enhanced and then enhanced for Journey Together, I believe they're about the same. But at one point, you can see here, the regular Mega Evolution booster box, they were basically going for the exact same amount, I guess, just like Journey Together. And I know some people were speculating that possibly this would be actually, more expensive or more sought after because maybe they're making less of these, which I think is still true. I'm pretty sure Enhanced is the main booster box. But you can see here, the regular non-enhanced version is actually going for less. Which is interesting because you actually look here, they're $310, and here you can buy them for under $290. So interesting how it's changed, where, for Journey Together, there was a period of time where the non-enhanced version was actually worth a bit more, but now for Mega Evolution is actually quite the opposite, where the enhanced box is actually more prevalent and is worth more. A big reason why I believe this is the case is because of the Bulbasaur stamp promo. Bulbasaur, I think we can all agree here, is probably more popular than the Ends Reshiram. And for that reasoning, people want the promo. So you can see it's not all about scarcity sometimes, it is also about demand. Even though there's more enhanced booster boxes out there, people want the stamp promo. It's like, why wouldn't you want an extra card, right? And especially as a Bulbasaur. So I think that is the reason why we see this happening, where the enhanced boxes are more expensive than the non-enhanced, even though this is probably more scarce, is because people want the Bulbasaur. So I just want to show you guys this at the end here, just worth talking about. But yes, the Pokemon market is starting to see a little bit of slowdown period. Not to reiterate everything I've said in previous videos yesterday. I don't think this is a super huge deal. I think a lot of things have hit high price points where we're starting to see some pullback, and we will see if towards the end of the year, I'll probably make a whole different video about this, but if towards the end of the year we don't see any change and this market continues to be like this, we may have some conversation then. But that's all I want to show you guys in this video, just things that have been going down. Highly recommend you guys, if you have been waiting or looking maybe for some Sword and Shield booster boxes, now's a great time to pick up some of these that have dropped $100+, like Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, Chilling Reign. Some of these other ones, it's up to you. Paradox Rift, Paldea Evolve, some older stuff that is going out of print early next year. Maybe you can see some opportunities buying those, but I think especially Sword and Shield boxes, it's a great time to pick them up when they're 100% out of print and they have gone down and pulled back even more from where they originally were at. When, like for example, Lost Origin, $900, Chilling Reign, $600. They're all dropped, at least $100. So just want to make this video to show you guys what has been going down. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.